Hey guys, it's MJ, the student actuary, and tonight we're going to be talking about the 10 things that actuaries do better than everyone else. And the reason I'm making this video is because someone asked in the comment section, what can I do with a degree in actuarial science? And I thought, what better way to answer it than to make a video? So I'm going to go through 10 things that we do better, and I'm just gonna, just briefly explain each one and move on to the next point. So without further ado, let's check it out. So we can create insurance products better than anybody else. Okay, and an insurance contract is simply where one party transfers risk to another party for a fee. And this is great because it allows the parties to manage their risk appetites. And if this is done intelligently, then risk can be reduced overall and value can be created. So it's quite a cool thing. And in actuarial science, we learn a lot about life insurance, general insurance, and all these various types of insurance. What we also are great at, and what you'll also learn a lot about if you do the course, is managing pensions. Now, a pension is when you set aside a small amount of your earnings every month so that you can continue to sustain yourself financially after retirement. Now, there have been some big oopsies with pension schemes in the past that have lost hundreds of millions of dollars. So it is quite a big responsibility, and yes, actuaries have stuffed this up in the past, but in the future, we are the best people as we do stuff up the least with it. But one thing that we are also great at is making investment decisions. And actuaries invest better than accountants. And the reason for that is because actuaries focus also on the liabilities. And we do this thing called matching. And matching is when you seek to match the assets to your liabilities in as many different areas as possible. And there's a whole thing on this. I mean, there's an entire course dedicated to matching and what it entails. But basically, it allows for risk and return to be balanced better. And so we make smarter investment decisions. Actuaries are also really good when it comes to running a bank. I mean, a bank is simply something that borrows and lends money. They also do some other stuff. But they have to deal with credit risks and they have to manage regulation reserves. And these are two areas that actuaries know a lot about. And it's no surprise that one of the biggest employers of my honors class was a bank. And I've just seen recently in the news that I made that video on the #1 South African actuary. Well, he's invested in a company which is investing in a company that is an app that lets people lend money to each other peer-to-peer. But it's still in its early stages. And why? Because, we're good at running a bank. Okay, we also create models. I'm not talking about those gorgeous girls who wear fancy clothes and don't eat. No, I'm talking about the mathematical models, the ones where you input some data, some mathematical magic happens, and you get some valuable results. I personally created a model to simulate cricket results during the World Cup this year, and it was a lot of fun. And what you're going to do is you're going to learn how to make a model to model anything. So it really is a flexible skill that you can apply in various fields. What we can also do is advise the government. Now, governments need lots of advice, and actuaries can provide it because we're very good at demography and population studies. And so we'll be able to forecast population movements and assist the government, what's the best way to spend their resources, or which cities are going to expect to get a lot of people coming in, and what are the death rates and birth rates and all those, population statistics that we can use and interpret to help out the politicians so that they can serve the people in the best way possible. If you want to become an entrepreneur or a CEO, then actuarial science will serve you better than an MBA or any commerce degree. Because business is about knowing which risks to take, which risks to transfer, and which to avoid. And no one understands risk better than actuaries. So if you're interested in risk, there is a subject, an actuarial specialist subject called Enterprise Risk Management, which I highly recommend that you take a look at, especially if you want to go into the business. And I mean, business, there's so many different types, and actuaries are just amazing at it. Okay, now I know doctors save lives and pharmacists, they create that awesome medication, but let's be honest, they are very expensive and the majority of us couldn't afford them if it wasn't for actuaries. Okay, actuaries, we help develop medical aids and what a medical aid basically is, it's something where you pay a monthly fee even while you're healthy, and then if for some terrible reason you get sick, the medical aid will cover your costs. Now this is important, not for if you just get the flu and you need some tissues, but if you get cancer or some of these serious illnesses, the treatment could cost you millions, and the medical aid will fund that. So they really are lifesavers. And this is great if you're interested in becoming a doctor or doing something in the medical profession. There is a whole specialist subject of actuarial science called health actuaries, and you could sink your teeth into that and just help out in the medical world, in the financial, and learn the economics behind it. Now, statisticians can all do this, analyze data and all that type of stuff, but actuaries are statisticians as well. So we're also great at analyzing data, and by being able to do this, we can become a valuable team member to any type of scientific research. If it's that CERN particle accelerator, or a psychologist, doing crazy sleep experiments, they're all getting data. And what actuaries do is we use distributions and statistical tests on their results, and we can then let them know if their observations were significant and if they can draw conclusions from the data. So we're very, very valuable to the scientific community. And then finally, even the fortune tellers have to step aside to the actuaries, as when it comes to predicting the future, we are the best. Now, we started off predicting when people would die, and we were deadly accurate at this. And we've kind of just taken the same principles, tweaked them a little bit, and we can predict like anything. We can predict car crashes. We can predict when a tsunami is going to strike. We can predict, it's actually quite scary how well we can predict the future if we have the correct data. And that's quite exciting stuff. If you can predict the future, especially on, say, the stock market, you're going to be in the money. So yeah, actuarial science, it's really awesome. I think it's the best degree in the world, and I would encourage everybody to study it. On this YouTube channel, I'm still a student, but I'm trying to help people to study it. So yeah, if you're smart, you don't have much of a social life, I highly recommend it for you. It is hard, it is difficult, but hey, it's well worth it. So all the best, and I hope you decide to study actuarial science. Thanks for watching. Cheers.